Let's get started with our second square for the month. That is the waving rib pattern. And remember, it looks good on either side, so you can use it on either side in your blanket. And once again, we are going to start by reading our pattern. So if we go to our pattern, it says to cast on 35 stitches and with color number 505 Steve, and then follow the chart and repeat the stitches between the red lines or the stars 4 times, and repeat the whole chart 4 times. Then work rows 1 through 4 again before binding off. Now, you may notice that your chart has red lines that move a little bit. So in all of our previous charts, I have always given you patterns that didn't have a repeat that moved. But in this one, we're going just that one step further, and we're trying out a pattern that has the repeat move a little bit. So all that means is if you're using stitch markers, you'll need to move your stitch marker when you come to row 5, and you'll have to move your stitch marker when you repeat then with row 1. It's not any different than repeating the stitches when the chart shows straight lines. You just have to pay a little bit more attention. I hope that you'll find this pattern to be a little bit intriguing, but not too difficult. So now that we're ready to start the waving rib pattern, I am going to be using French again instead of Steve, which is what my pattern says. So I'm going to cast on 35 stitches, which I have already done with my yarn. And then it's time to follow the chart. I'm going to repeat the stitches between the red lines 4 times. And remember, wherever the red line is, that is where your repeat is. And then I'm going to work rows 1 through 4 again, or as long as it takes me to get to that 6 inches that I'm looking for my square before I bind off. So I'm going to go ahead and work the first 4 rows and then show it to you. Hopefully yours will look the same. Okay, so now that you are through your first 4 rows, this is what it should look like. And again, you can start to see that, hey, this pattern might look good on both sides, so I could use either side as the right side in my blanket. So I'm going to go ahead and knit my next 4 rows, and then I will show you what it looks like again. Okay, I finished my row 8. This is what your pattern should look like. So remember, now it's time to go back and repeat that chart 4 times, then work rows 1 through 4 again, or knit until your square measures 6 inches before you bind off. I will see you for next month's squares.